Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are tonight's entertainment.
You don't know the power of the dark side.
I have a tender spot in my heart for cripples, bastards, and broken things.
What about second breakfast?
I have an army.
We have a Hulk. I solemnly swear that I am up to no good.
This is a tasty burger.
And tell him to suit up. I'm bringing the party to you.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another Film Optics podcast. My name is Christian, and I'm joined here today with Devin. How are you doing today, buddy?
Hello. How's it going?
I'm doing peachy, man. It's Disney Plus day, you know.
Yeah, it's definitely a nice way to start the day.
Yeah,
in the
man.
morning.
Oh man, I was up early.
Like you had Mandalorian watched before I even got up.
Yeah, man. It was, oh my gosh, fantastic. Well, I was on the Cinemania Squad group chat, and it's someone had said, "Hey, I got into Disney Plus," and that was at like midnight, and I was like, "What?" And so I tried it out, and I downloaded the Disney Plus app on my phone. I'm like, okay, so that's there. And I'm like, wait, I don't know my login. And I really didn't know my login for the longest time. And I was like, okay, what is it? I'm like, maybe it's my D23 information. And then I plugged it in, and I was like, oh, all right, that works. So we're in. And I went through to make sure that, like, you know, the 3-year plan that I got for us was like in effect. I was like, all right, we're good. So then, yeah, it was made you a profile and kind of just snowball from there, man. But so we have a lot to talk about on the podcast today. But before we get into today's topics, you can listen to this podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play, Stitcher, and Anchor. And don't forget to leave us a review, write a review, and leave a 4 or 5 star review, however many stars you think we deserve, because we got our first review, Devin. We got our first review. It was amazing. I love it. Proud day. Very, very proud day. I was like, oh my gosh, people are listening. This is fantastic. But so the topics we're going to get into today, everyone, is we're going to be talking about the Disney Plus launch. We're going to give our thoughts and opinions on that. We're also going to be diving into the Kevin Feige Disney Plus debacle that people have been talking about this past week. And we're going to be finishing off this podcast with our review of The Mandalorian Episode 1.
Yes.
Wait, what'd you say?
I've spoken.
I have spoken. But all right, so let's just dive right into our first story here. It's going to be the Disney Plus launch. For everyone out there who do not know, Disney Plus is launched today. It is $6.99 per month or $69.99 per year.
Nice.
It is unlimited downloads with up to 10 devices, and you can stream 4 different shows on 4 different devices at once, all in 4K. And they also have a Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Plus bundle for $12.99 per month. And you can also have up to 7 different profiles at no extra cost, which is amazing. So let's just get right in. I just wanted to throw all that information out there.
I've also heard that if you have either Hulu or ESPN Plus, you can get the bundle at a discounted rate, which is nice.
Oh, really?
I'm on it.
Yeah.
That's very, very interesting. I did not know that at all. I
definitely.
definitely.
So like if you have Hulu and ESPN Plus, you can just get the bundle, and Disney Plus is like $2.
Holy crap! Really?
Yeah, because it subtracts the amount that you have.
Oh yeah, because I mean it's all owned by Disney, so I guess that makes sense. Yeah, because when I originally double checked to see if our 3-year subscription was live, it said, oh, you can switch over to the Disney Plus bundle for $12.99 per month. I'm like, why would I do that? I just paid 3 years. I'm not going to do that. Absolutely not. But
yeah, we're good.
Yeah, I think we're fine for a while until November 2022. So that's when it is. Until
Disney decides to crack down on our IP addresses. Knock on wood.
Yeah, there's like what, 4 of us right now? Yeah. I think so. Yeah, so that would be pretty interesting. But so I guess Seven, what are your original thoughts when Disney Plus had a little bit of a hiccup this morning, which was expected, in my opinion, honestly. But what were your thoughts about after the whole server issue, people weren't able to log in this morning? I just want to hear your thoughts really quick about it. Just because I know you've been pretty much watching it all day. I've been at work pretty much. I mean, kind of skimming through it while I was there, but I just want to hear your thoughts first.
Yeah, early in the morning at like 7 a.m. It was pretty much unusable because it's expected. All these millions of people trying to download the app and get into it, and then it just kind of kept getting better throughout the day. And I think I really like it.
I got you, man. Yeah, I've been playing around with it, especially this morning when I watched Mandalorian. I was just going through everything. I'm like, there's just so much. Like, even it's so detailed. The UI is fantastic. It reminds me a lot of Netflix. But
Yeah,
it
was funny. Nothing worked except Mandalorian when I first got on.
Honestly,
Like,
same.
the one thing that we needed to watch worked.
Right. The one thing that mattered to us, at least for this podcast. But yeah, man, I've been skimming through everything. I'm like, oh my gosh, like there's all these Marvel shows, and I already have all of the MCU movies on Blu-ray, but and I really do appreciate them putting it on Disney Plus. So that's really not the big selling point for me. But just any show that you can think of that's been on Disney Plus, 99.9% of the chance they're on here, unless it's like, I know there's like some like Disney or like Pixar movies on like the Stars network, but that's only because of contracts. Once those contracts are up, they're probably going to move over to Disney Plus. And they like literally just like, I don't know, Luck of the Irish, like all these super old
Hannah Montana,
Sweet Life of Zach and Cody, Brother Bear, just literally anything you can think of. Like Xenon Z3, I'm pretty sure is on there. I'm not even lying. Lilo and Stitch, like it's all there. It is all, even things we've never even heard of before.
There's a lot of stuff no one's ever heard of.
Yeah, there is a lot of stuff. It's crazy. I mean, I really like how, especially with the profiles, there's so many profile pictures to choose from. It's not, they put a lot of effort into this, It's not just, like my little profile thing is like Kid Simba. I'm like, this is perfect. It's not like with, I think Netflix has kind of started that trend, but with, a lot of their stuff, it's very limited. With Disney's, it is a little bit more, but I do feel like they could add a lot more profiles or profile pictures. You know what I mean? Because I think for Marvel, there's only like maybe 5 or 7 heroes, so it's not everyone. Like Thor's not even on there. Captain America's not even on there.
And in the settings for your profile, they actually allow you to change things. Like you can set it to where video doesn't automatically play in the background when you're scrolling. Yeah. You can also set it auto plays off. It's just very convenient.
Very, very convenient. I really do like how the UI, it's, everything is right there. You have Disney, Marvel, Star Wars, National Geographic, it's already pretty much categorized for you, as well as, there's like, oh, here's all our movies in 4K UHD that you can stream in, or like, here's like our top sellers, or here's our entire Disney vault. The entire Disney vault is on there as well. And it is truly amazing. I don't know why I don't think anyone thought of this before. It's like, what if Disney had a streaming service? Because they own a lot of crap, like hella crap. But so does Warner Brothers, and I think people kind of forget that. I don't think a lot of Warner Brothers properties are as memorable as Disney, but I would say that they do definitely have their fair share as well. So when HBO Max comes out, I'm definitely looking forward to that. But today is all about Disney Plus, as I digress. Anything else like you liked about it, or like, well, what shows have you been watching so far today, Devin? I know you've been scourging around.
One thing you mentioned that I think is pretty underrated is the 4K capability, free of charge. It's kind of a big deal. Having a full section of 4K Ultra HD movies to watch, like those are expensive, and you get to watch them free of charge with this subscription.
Yeah, and I think what Avengers Endgame's on there, 4K. Captain America Winter Soldier's on there, 4K.
Even the older Star Wars are on 4K.
Yeah, literally all. I was very surprised, and I'm actually going to check that out because I have the Blu-ray collection for. I mean, I have all the Star Wars besides Rogue One and I think Solo, but I'm definitely going to check out those 4K versions to see if there's. I mean, much of a difference. Like, no, they weren't shot in 4K, but normally those things are upscaled. But I definitely want to see, if the HDR and everything for these versions are worth it. Apparently, did you see on Twitter that there's like 4 different versions of like when Han originally meets
Twitter is freaking out.
Greedo or whatever.
Funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like,
what is the word that he said? It's just a nonsense.
Yeah,
word.
It's a nonsense word, and there's 4 different versions, and I think the original version apparently Han shot first, but I remember within each version it's a little bit different, but I guess they changed it again with the Disney Plus version.
Yeah, the Disney Plus version is the one that they remade for 3D re-release a few years ago, but that never got released. But that's the one that Disney Plus is using.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, it's like someone
George Lucas just likes changing things for no reason.
Oh yeah,
no reason.
Yeah, I mean it's fine, but whatever. Star Wars is quote unquote dead, right? It's crazy, man. I was like, what is going on? I'm like, oh, this is like 4. I thought it was only like 2 different versions. Turns out that there's 4. So
yep.
I was like, wow, that's insane. But man, I'm trying to think what else. There's any gripes that you have with the overall experience minus the launch?
Besides the launch, I don't really think I have any. I like when you go to the search bar, it takes you to a page where it has like a bunch of different collections you can go to.
Yeah,
That's
I noticed
really
that too.
There's like a Spider-Man collection, Marvel collection, Star Wars collection.
Buddy.
Having that all in one place is really convenient.
Yeah.
Hit up that Spider-Man collection and started watching some 90s Spider-Man.
Dude, I literally lit up like a kid on Christmas as soon as I started playing it this morning and that theme song came on. I was like,
that theme song's so weird, but it
is
works.
So weird, but it's so good. I remember watching that all the time when I was a kid. I was really thinking like, okay, besides the Mandalorian, what else am I going to watch like day one on Disney Plus? And I was like, 90s Spider-Man for sure. Absolutely. And I've been building up my watch list all day, it's growing. And I really do like, the fact that we have this now, even for, if you want to buy a movie on Blu-ray, I still encourage people myself to go out and buy physical copies just because, it's important to have, and something like this can easily be taken away. And since Disney has, it's obviously, yes, it's a monopoly on their own streaming service. They can take off anything they want to at any point in time, as long as they have full control. If it's not on another streaming service during like a 4 or 5 year deal, for what have you. Do I see that happening? No. But, watching all these, all the old Toy Stories, I don't have to go out and buy, a $30 4K version of Toy Story 2 or 3 or 1 or, not Cars, Moana or.
I'm going to ignore that one.
Yeah. But, it really is, it is a nice, it is a nice buy. And I think it's worth it. Like I said, I didn't even know where to start. Like right now,
it's especially worth it for us because we got together. We figured, hey, might as well get a discount if we work together and share the passwords and accounts.
Yeah,
as long as they allow us to. But
yeah, and which I don't see it. Right, I don't see them changing that anytime soon. I think a lot of people.
If you got some friends, get together and create an account, and it'll save you a lot.
Literally, go in on like an annual deal. It's what, $70? Split that between like 2-3 people, you're set. You can have up to 7 profiles on the account, and up to
four different devices at once.
Yeah,
all in 4K. It's
all
crazy.
in 4K. It is fantastic, man.
That part really blows Netflix out of the water. Having that many devices, that many profiles all at once is so much better than Netflix.
Yeah. Well, I will say between Netflix and Disney, you know, I mean, Netflix does come up with a lot of original content for sure. But I still think they are in this race. I don't think Netflix is going away anytime
Netflix
soon.
is going nowhere. Like, I still think Netflix is going very strong.
Yeah, I would have to agree. Absolutely. You know, like the lesser streaming services like Stars or man, I'm trying to
CBS think. All Access.
Yeah, CBS or even Peacock, I would have to say, because honestly, I'm not going to pay to watch The Office again. I've watched it so many times. I don't need to see it again.
It's the only selling point they have.
Literally, the only time that I watch The Office is for like background noise if I don't know what to watch, and it's just running. I'm not even really paying attention. It's so. I mean, that's just me. Apparently, Peacock might be free with ads. No thanks. It's not for me. Not at all. But any last comments, questions, or concerns before we move on to the next topic?
Yeah, we can talk about some of the other stuff we watched. I don't know if you watched. I know you're in the middle of watching one of my favorites currently. The
World According to Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah,
oh, it's so great. It's just
I was looking forward to that since they first announced it because I love Jeff Goldblum. I think everyone loves Jeff Goldblum. He's just like the ultimate cool guy.
Right.
He just does Jeff Goldblum things, and it's a documentary show.
Yeah, it is. It's so chill. It's so relaxed. It's like HDTV, but on Disney, kind of. It's just like they're very chill shows. The first episode very is all easy to watch. Culture. Yeah, sneaker culture is the
which is like not what you expect Jeff Goldblum to talk about, but he makes it work. His small talk abilities with anybody from any walk of life is like inspiring level of good.
It is fantastic. I think I just got done with the part where there's a sneaker convention in Cleveland, the Huntington Square, and like he's talking to this one guy who's wearing like this Mickey Mouse shirt, of course, but he's like, so he's trying to understand the culture, and he's like guys, he's like, you know, me being here as long as I have, it's like he's like, I've noticed that everyone is in on like this thing that's going on. This one guy like bought an entire rack of shoes, like an entire like platform rack display worth of shoes, and the guy who was selling the shoes to the buyer, he's like yeah, he's like, can we do this like off camera? And then Jeff Goldblum was like, okay, let's move over here, and he's like paying no attention to the people behind me. He's like, actually, I want to go over there and see if I can help him out. He's like, do you guys shake on it? It's great. Like he just has,
and you haven't even gotten to the end yet. But at the end, he has like kind of a little soliloquy that he talks about the sneaker industry as a whole, and it's so elegant and so well said. It's just Jeff Goldblum, perfect.
Right. It's man, and I'm really enjoying it. You know, there's a lot of things I want to check out on here, and not just old stuff. I want to try the newer things first, just because we know that there's only one episode of each. You know, I mean, Noel's a movie, obviously, and then you have Lady the Tramp. I would like to try out the High School Musical, like see what it's like.
I'll let you do that one.
Wow. Will I continue watching it? Probably not, but I want to at least try it out. You know, and then there's my God, what was the Hero Project? I think you told me to try it as well.
Marvel Hero Project. I didn't know too much about it, but first episode was like amazing. It was really inspiring.
So wait, what is the Marvel Hero Project?
Almost tearing up a little bit. It's just about like real life people doing like good things for the community and other people.
Okay.
And Marvel recognizes them and then puts them into their own comic book
as real life heroes.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Very interesting. Yeah, and I think right before one more thing, I watched the expanding the universe thing.
Yeah, it was like a 12-minute ad basically, but it was cool.
But it was still cool to see. I mean, pretty much everything's recapping stuff from Comic-Con.
They gave some sneak peeks though that haven't been seen before from some of the shows.
Especially from the animated, the What If TV show. So I think that the animated shorts. So I think that's really amazing. Truly, It literally anyone, if you love any type of Disney property, I think this is literally the streaming service that anyone can enjoy, that anyone should have in their streaming collection, if you know, or subscription base, if you're more of a internet junkie like we are. But
yeah, and then the one other thing I watched was Noel, like you mentioned before.
Yeah, I saw.
It wasn't great. I mean, it wasn't bad.
I hear Bill Hader's in it.
Yeah, that's one thing that was wrong. He wasn't in it enough for me.
Yeah. My friend Hannah made a tweet. It was like Bill Hader and Noel. It was like this really random TikTok video, and like the girl only like flashes up for like a second, then she's gone. And it's like, oh, yeah. So I guess he's really not in it all that much. He probably has like a super small role. I'll still check it out.
Yeah, it was too similar to Elf for me, and Elf is an instant classic, so it's hard to live up to that.
Yeah, okay, I got you. Yeah, I'll definitely have to check all those out for sure, especially throughout the week and the weekend. But anything else? I just want to head on to the next story here.
What are your thoughts on the one episode per week as compared to?
Okay, multiple? Yeah. So I was talking about people with this on the Cinemania Squad group chat, and some people like it over there, some people don't. I like it a lot. Number one, we have this podcast. It gives us a chance to talk about whatever episodes we want to, especially, you know, with our Mandalorian episode 1 review coming. We'll be talking about later on this podcast. Number two, it's just so much easier to keep track of all your shows. I don't feel like I have to rush through, like, I mean, as much as I love binging for certain shows, I just feel like I watch it all at once, and it's like, it's so hard to like, I can't properly digest it. And it's just easier to keep track of all your shows, and I can just, you know, like I'm watching Watchmen, you know, right? And I'm also watching His Dark Materials. Watchmen comes out on Sundays on HBO. His Dark Materials comes out on Mondays. So it's like, I don't have to just sit there like, oh, you know, I gotta watch all of, like, I don't know, Stranger Things 3 so we can talk about all of it on the podcast. And just, I think it leaves less room for spoilers as well. You know what I mean?
I like it and I don't like it. It just depends on the type of show for me. Like, as far as Mandalorian goes, like epic type shows that are near an hour long, I do like it when those are weekly. But then, like 30-minute shows, I kind of wish you could binge all at once. Like the Jeff Goldblum show is a perfect example.
Or like Dickinson, how they did that with Apple TV Plus. Yeah.
Like if the Jeff Goldblum show was all in once, I'd just sit there and watch almost all of it because it's just so easy to
right. And I think it is easier to digest 30-minute episodes versus shows like, imagine if all the morning show was just on.
Yeah,
you know,
I would have given up.
Yeah, I would have given up too. Yeah, and I think
I did watch that earlier tonight actually.
Oh, did you really? Episode 4? The newest one. There you go. Yeah. Love it.
Might have dozed off a bit, but it's okay.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely is. It's a slow burn, but it is very, very dramatic. But I'll keep watching for now. Since Dickinson's over, I'm kind of sad. I'm not gonna lie. But oh well, what can you do? But yeah, definitely a big, weekly kind of person now, especially with, you know, as you get older, you know, the more responsibilities you have. I think it is smarter for Disney to go this route, and it's also smarter because, yes, these shows are once per week, but they have so much other content of other shows and movies you can just binge until you drop.
Well, and technically, it is smarter financially for them to do it this way because people can't just get 1 month and watch everything the first month.
Yeah, so it implores you to stick around and see, you know, what shows, you know, what's going to happen, what next on each show instead of, and I think, you know, same thing with Game of Thrones. Like, and as much as I would have loved to have all of season 8 or any season, just out there, like day one, Game of Thrones, like, cause it happens when I watch, oh my gosh, what is it? The Dragon Prince on Netflix. It's a very, very good show. Created from the creators of Avatar: The Last Airbender. And it's amazing, but I hate kind of just watching it all at once. And it's like, all right, I remember some parts of it, and it's just I don't know. It all becomes like a big blur after a while. But yeah, that's just my thoughts on it. But speaking of people's thoughts, people are starting to think for our next story here.
Segue.
People are not people's thoughts are not very good reaction thoughts to
Not too bright.
Not too bright at all. So for our next story here, Kevin Feige says Marvel fans, excuse me, will need to watch Disney Plus TV series to understand the future MCU movies. And
I was shocked when I saw this news come out because I thought that was obvious and implied. I was shocked when people were surprised by this.
Yeah, I totally agree. It's and I'll read the quote. This is from the Bloomberg Business Week. Every single time I think Bloomberg, I think Go Bloom, and I'm like, God, get out of my head. But who cares? I mean, it's Jeff Goldblum.
Your head's a good place for him to be.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
good thought to have.
If you're feeling down, just think, what would Jeff Goldblum do? Honestly, it's just think about what he would say. But so I'll read this quick quote. He says, "You'll probably need Disney Plus because the events from the new shows will factor into forthcoming films such as Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. Scarlet Witch will be a key character in that movie." And Feige also points out that the Loki series will tie in. The Loki series, will tie in too. And he says, "I'm not sure we've actually acknowledged that before," which they actually have, because if you actually watch the expanding cinematic universe 12-minute trailer on Disney Plus, they even say this during D23 Expo. That when they announced Moon Knight, She-Hulk, and Miss Marvel, saying that, you know, these are future TV series and they will tie into the movies. And everybody cheered. Everyone.
Yes. Because it makes sense. There's no reason not to.
Makes zero sense.
There's no reason not to do that.
Because they already did it the other way. They had it to where it was kind of like one-way connected with like Daredevil and like more of the Iron Fist.
And it had a negative impact.
Yeah. And, you know, it was kind of like a one-way connected. Like the TV shows would sometimes make references to the movies. It was never the other way around. So it wasn't truly connected. This makes sense. And I don't know why people are so mad about it. Makes no sense to me. But what I'm just, I mean, but
we had some discussions in our little group chat, and
we did.
Didn't make much sense.
Yeah, one of our buddies, he believes, and everyone listening, that it's essentially a DLC paywall that you, in order to get the full experience, you have to have Disney Plus.
It's nothing new from what Marvel's been doing in the past 10 years.
Literally
every movie's a paywall if that's what you want to think, if that's how you want to think about it.
Yeah, in order to get that experience, you have to pay to see it. It makes
if you really think about it, by doing it this way, they're actually saving you money. $7 is cheaper than a movie ticket.
Yeah, what's the average movie price ticket? It's like what?
I don't know, like 12 probably.
I would say 12. I would say like
10 or 12.
I mean, I would say like $12 I would say, because I wouldn't really count matinee prices. Because, I mean, some people go to those, some people don't. But, I mean, it is what it is. But it's just ridiculous.
The best part about these shows is that they're more than likely going to be movie quality based on the budgets that we've been seeing and the talent that they've accrued.
Right. Well,
all the characters and actors are coming back. It's all the same stuff as the movies.
Yeah.
Just in a TV streaming form.
Yeah. Per the Bloomberg report. So he also declined to discuss the budget for the shows, including Disney's reports that Disney is spending as much as $25 million per episode on some Marvel shows, more than HBO is believed to have spent during the final season of Game of Thrones. But that's just, a little segue there. But I remember, comicbook.com had covered this first, and people were just so outraged about it, and our buddy was just being like, Nice.
They just have to stop and think for like a second to like understand what they're going for.
And I saw some of those Twitter comments and like it was just straight, just nasty, man. Like
It's just nonsense.
It's crazy. I really don't know what else much to say about it because I automatically assumed that all of this will be connected. And it's like, okay, yeah, you're going to need Disney Plus for it. Can everyone afford Disney Plus? No, but it's also...
Not everyone can afford to go to movies if you're using that logic.
Yeah, that is...
Because movies are more expensive.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that people can't afford. Like, there's a lot of things I can't afford, but it's like...
Like I mentioned times before, if these were movies instead of TV shows, there would be no complaints.
Yeah, I agree. Because everyone's like, oh my gosh, we need Daredevil in the MCU. You know, everything needs to be connected. And now everyone's like, oh, well, you know, Disney's just making that money. I'm like, yeah, they're a business, man. What did you expect? I'm just baffled by it. But I mean,
it's a win-win for everybody. I don't know how that wasn't seen as a win-win from the very beginning.
And if anyone has a different way of looking at this, this will be posted up on YouTube as well. Leave us a comment in the comment section down below explaining why you think it is a paywall. You know, these are just our thoughts and opinions about it. You know, we're not going to come out here and say, oh, you know, like you're dumb for thinking this way, whatever. You know, these are just our opinions. But logically, it just doesn't make any sense.
The logic falls apart the more you try to defend it. The argument.
It's crazy because this thing about with Watchmen, you know, so the TV show Watchmen is a continuation of the of the books or the comics, excuse me. So in order to find out what happens next, you have to be subscribed to HBO Now in order to find out what happens. But
which I will be soon.
Man, oh man. I mean,
thankfully it's died down since then, seemingly.
Yeah,
all the chatter.
I agree. I mean, thankfully, you know, we have Jeff Goldblum in our lives, and
yes,
Disney
they'll save everything.
Disney Plus.
Remember when they asked him about Spider-Man? He was just like, "Oh yeah, I don't know. I'm sure they'll figure things out. I don't know." And then there you go, it's fixed.
Tom Holland just. I mean, say what you want to about Disney. Yes, they own a lot of properties. Are they a monopoly? No, they are not. But that's, you know, it's factual. They are not a monopoly. But I've also heard people say, oh, you know, it's not well, they could still have a monopoly on something without being a pure monopoly. I'm like, what? Like that doesn't make sense to me. I mean, if anyone out there feels differently, like please feel free to let us know. Leave a comment on Twitter, YouTube, wherever you can. But I don't know, what do you think about that? Like when someone says that Disney's just more of a, like they could still monopolize a market without being a pure monopoly.
Well, the argument is obviously very easy to make, and it's only getting easier because they keep accruing different companies.
Right.
Fox being the most recent.
Right, which is true. They own a lot. They really do. But I do think people fail to mention that Warner Brothers owns a crap ton of stuff as well. And I think I said this on our Apple TV Plus, HBO Max Impressions podcast about a week ago. Like, Warner Brothers is owned by AT&T, and they are massive. Like, it's a cell phone company. Cell phone, cable, internet, everything. They own so much stuff. Warner Brothers may not be doing as well as Disney right now, but honestly, if Warner Brothers would is taking the same initiatives and making the right moves as Disney was, they would be just as big of a powerhouse. They really would. And I truly do believe that. But, you know, one company always outshines another. So it is what it is, man. I don't even know.
As long as the product continues to be quality and we have choices in the matter, that's all that matters.
That's all that matters. Absolutely. But did you have any other comments, questions, or concerns before you're ready to get into this Mandalorian review?
Oh, I'm excited.
Oh, the Mandalorian review. All right, everyone. So we're going to be doing our Mandalorian review, episode 1, or I should say, chapter 1. Chapter 1. I have spoken. But so the way this is going to work, we're just going. Did you want to do like a spoiler-free section first, and then just get into spoilers, just like our quick thoughts, you know?
Yeah, this episode specifically is very spoiler heavy.
Right.
A very, very important spoiler, at least.
A very big spoiler at the end, absolutely. So, all right, so the way we'll do it, we will talk, we'll do a non-spoiler section, and then I'll give a warning before we get into spoilers for those who haven't listened, because, you know, maybe not everyone's got a chance to watch it yet. I know a few people over at Cinemania have, some haven't, so it depends on everyone's schedule, and we just want to be fair to everybody. So there's that. So all right, I'll read the synopsis about the show in general, and then we will get into non-spoilers. So the synopsis reads: after the stories of Jango and Boba Fett, another warrior emerges in the Star Wars universe. The Mandalorian is set after the fall of the Empire and before the emergence of the First Order. We will follow the trivials of a lone gunfighter in the outer reaches of the galaxy from the authority of the New Republic. Creator Jon Favreau, and stars
In Jon Favreau we trust.
In Jon Favreau we trust. If it's not Lion King, but
Okay, Lion King was a bad concept, but he executed it as good as he could have.
I agree. And it stars Pedro Pascal, Kyle Paek.
No idea.
Pakic, Basic, I don't know, and Brendan Wayne, just to name a few. So, when you saw the trailer for this, Devin, what were your initial thoughts?
Every trailer that comes out has just looked amazing. It's exactly what you would want. It's movie quality Star Wars on a streaming service. Like, what more do you want?
Yeah, I agree. It looks so real, and it's just so, it feels.
It's actually it's the first ever live action Star Wars TV show. Kind of crazy to think about.
Yeah, that is very true. A lot of the other have either been animated or in video game form. With Star Wars: The Clone Wars being the last popular Star Wars show that I can remember. But I totally agree, man. You know, this it feels like Star Wars. It looks more Star Wars than we've seen in a long time. And I'm not saying, you know, I'm not taking a slice of The Last Jedi or Force Awakens, because I actually like both of those movies. I think they take a new, different direction. But this is clearly for a more mature audience. I don't think everyone's going to like this, especially kids. Kids might, maybe, but it just the world feels very alive, and it feels. So this is in between the fall of the Empire and before the emergence of the First Order. So this happens between episodes 6, well, the Return of the Jedi and Force Awakens, then, because that's when the fall of the Empire and the rise of emergence of the First Order begins. So I believe, but that doesn't make any sense because of the ending. Or
if you're gonna be asking questions about the timeline, I'm gonna have zero answers for you. I got nothing.
Well, let us know in the comments down below. I found the synopsis on Google. It could be totally wrong. Given if you've already seen the episode and you know the big spoiler at the end, but yeah, man, I agree with you there. It's just very it's movie quality.
It's Star Wars. It's a Star Wars Western. Like, that is such a cool concept.
Yeah, I totally agree. It's and Pedro Pascal plays the Mandalorian.
He's a very soothing voice.
He really does.
Really like it.
It's not in when I was
young, it's not overpowering, but it's also like,
yeah, it's not like
doing.
Right. It's not like Darth Vader-y. It's not Kylo Ren. Well, I think Darth Vader has a better voice than Kylo Ren, but yeah, it's very zen. You know what I mean? Yeah.
He's in control.
Yeah, he's very in control. He's he's not overstepping his boundaries. He just knows what's up. Yeah. So I guess are you ready to get into spoilers? Because we pretty much gushed over the the review already. But unless there was anything else you wanted to add non-spoiler wise before we head into spoilers.
Let's do it.
All right.
We shall speak.
We shall speak. I have spoken. We've spoken everything that we can about the non-spoiler section of The Mandalorian. So if you haven't seen The Mandalorian, turn back now and then come back and watch or listen to the rest of this on whatever lovely device that you are listening to this on. And we will, because after the spoiler section, we'll probably pretty much just wrap up with the rest of the podcast, unless there was any other topics you wanted to talk about. We'll get into that later. So, Baby Yoda. Baby Yoda?
Yeah.
That's Baby Yoda.
So, I just watched Lights Camera Barstool just put out a video.
Of course. No, I'm kidding.
They were talking about, it's not 100% confirmed it's Yoda. Could be someone of that species.
Right, and that's what I was thinking. Because if this is set before the after the fall of the Empire and before the First Order, Yoda's already well in his his 1,000 years old.
I do like how they explain that they age differently, because they said they're looking for a 50-year-old and that baby pops up.
Yeah, and the droid was saying the different life forms, they age differently. So yeah, I definitely agree with you there. But that was a really weird twist of return. I'm like, wait. I thought this was supposed to, happen between then. I was so thrown for a loop.
As far as Star Wars goes, I don't question anything, because it confuses me to
suspense of disbelief.
Yeah, and it just timeline just makes no sense, so I just accept it. I mean, I'm sure it makes sense to some people, but definitely not to me.
Yeah, and I feel like I'm pretty in tune with Star Wars lore, maybe not as much as others, because there's a lot of books out there for Star Wars that I just haven't read and probably never will read. I'll probably just get that information from a YouTube video or something of that nature. But yeah, it is. Oh my gosh! So beginning of the episode, he's searching for this.
He just walks in the bar and he's just automatically a badass.
Yeah. So what was that the scene of this show during the Monday Night Football?
I showed that scene a couple times. Like they always showed the guy getting cut in half in the door, and it looks so cool.
Yeah, and this is PG-13, so you won't actually see it. It just happens off screen, which I think is going to happen with a lot of deaths in this show just because of the rating, which is totally fine because they're pushing the boundaries of PG-13 to as far as they can,
and they still made it look really cool. So all that matters.
Yeah, we got the concept. He's dead. He's chopped liver. So yeah, but yeah. So it starts off with he goes into a bar. He's looking for this guy, this blue guild looking guy, and he's trying to wiggle his way out of it, and he has like the little tracking device, and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. So that's pretty handy when you're bounty hunting instead of just going off of the information that you've collected. So anyway, as I was saying, the little tracking device that he has, I thought that was pretty sweet.
And that blue guild fellow, the voice sounded familiar to me. Turns out it's Horatio Sands from Saturday Night Live.
Oh, really? Wow. Okay. I got you. Yeah, it did sound a little familiar there for a second.
There was actually a lot of comedians that made cameos in this episode.
Really?
Really interesting. Jon Favreau must have wanted to bring in his friends.
Oh, I was going to say.
Bill Burr was in the episode. I didn't see where, but I know he's credited as being in the episode.
Was he the... No, that wasn't him. I'm trying to think of who it was. Maybe he was one of the cryo frozen people, possibly, or probably one of the stormtroopers that he walks into, before searching for the baby We're just gonna call him Baby Yoda, even though it's not Baby Yoda.
Who knows?
I mean, yeah, it just doesn't make sense because he's already old. And wait, oh my gosh, you know what? No, that still doesn't make any sense. Anyways, I'm thinking out loud to myself in my mind. But anyway, the bluegill guy gets, he goes down to the Mandalorian's ship, claiming he has his bathroom.
We finally find out how toilets work in the Star Wars universe.
Yeah, the
first time they've ever shown a toilet.
Yeah, they literally just, he's like, so they just empty it out in space. I mean, it must have been a lot of poop just flying around in space. I wonder how much is out there. I mean, space is a pretty big place, so you probably don't run into it that much.
Yeah.
I don't know. P? No clue. But yeah, he tries to be a little slickster and, escape. And then Mandalorian's like, yeah, pal, you're not doing that. But I really like
he's like Michael Myers popping up out of nowhere.
I was like, holy crap, where did he come from?
There were a couple of jump scares throughout the episode, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah. I really like his the line that the Mandalorian made when a bluegill guy tries to bribe him out. He's like, I can either bring you in hot or I can bring you in cold.
I love that.
That was so nice. Absolutely loved it, man. And
there's just so many one-liners that are just straight out of Western movies. It just fits so well.
Yeah, and I just, man, it blew me away. I didn't know what to expect. I tried not to watch, the trailers over and over again. I just wanted to go in blind and enjoy it for what it is, and I really, really did. I'm trying to think what else.
We got to talk about our boy, our tiny little guy.
The I've spoken. What is his name? I can't remember.
Kuill. So Kuill.
Yeah.
He was voiced by Nick Nolte, so kind of a big name there.
Okay, there we go. Well, yeah, there's a lot of practical effects or just costumes in this universe.
That's one of the small gripes I had was that character specifically. The mouth movements didn't kind of
sync up.
They didn't sync up as well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I totally agree. I was like, but that kind of is Star Wars. If you go back and watch the originals, have you seen the originals, Devin, or have you kind of Because I remember it being what it was. It was just it was silly, it's PG. It was rated PG, so of course these are clearly made for children. But with the Mandalorian, it's PG-13, I believe. I'm not sure what the rating really is for. Well, for TV, it's a little bit different rating because PG-13 is more for movies. But
it's TV-14.
TV-14. Oh, okay, stepping it up. Bam, 14-year-olds. Sorry, 13s. I used to think it was amazing when I turned 13, I can go see PG-13 movies by myself. That was a good day. But anyway, back to the review here. Really quick, I digress. Sorry about that, folks.
So yeah, there's that little training montage where he has to ride the animal. Those animals looked so real.
They really did. I was like, is that an actual person in there, or are they actual? Is that CGI? If it is CGI, that was very, very impressive. And it just, well, I've spoken, man, he's like, you'll never get to that bounty on foot. And I really like also how they, they kind of show the flashbacks of the Mandalorian, even though you've seen its face just as a kid. And it looks like its, parents were killed in a massacre that happened. And,
And I love one of the biggest strengths of Star Wars in general is creating characters that are memorable, like the I've spoken guy.
It's his own hashtag
he looks
on Twitter
so cool.
too.
He looks so cool. He has a cool line. It makes it so memorable.
Yeah. It's kind of like how Forrest Gump is, when he says, what he has to say, and he's like, and that's all I have to say about that. And then he's
life is like a box of chocolates.
Life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get. But yeah, that's kind of what it reminded me of, and I really do enjoy that little. It might be a head nod, probably not, but it's still one of the best lines. It's his own Twitter hashtag, as I said. So That's pretty sweet.
And then we got to talk about our boy Taika Waititi.
Okay, who did he play?
IG-11.
Oh, that was him. Oh,
Yes.
Okay.
He had a little bit of New Zealand in there.
I was like,
it was kind of hidden by the robot voice. But it still snuck out.
I was like, his voice. It's not that it sounded familiar. I was like, oh, that's a really nice voice for a droid.
Yep. Now you know why. Your boy Taika.
Wow.
Hopefully he's not dead forever.
Hopefully
he
not.
Definitely died in this episode.
Oh yeah. Well, I seriously thought that they shot that baby. I was like, oh, bro. I'm like, all right, that's not Yoda. He's about to kill this baby.
Yeah.
And then Taika falls to the ground, and I was like, oh, okay.
And Taika's like his droid's shooting style was so cool and different. Just like
he kept on trying to
going everywhere.
Yeah. That was really funny. He was like, put that bomb away. But I really like.
Yeah, that was a really cool fight out scene at the end.
Yeah, that was really sweet.
He kills the sentry guy and like zips on over and starts shooting it. It was so cool.
That was pretty sweet. Yeah, his gun style, the way he was shooting those blasters everywhere. I'm like, wow, this droid I just thought, as soon as he walks up.
Yeah, most
to the
droids
camp,
are just derpy and like.
Unless you're R2, but yeah. I literally thought he was just gonna get completely just hammered. It's like, nope, we're gonna do this the right way, and he's just gonna he's gonna kick some ass. So that's exactly.
Hopefully he
what
comes
did.
back next episode because they're a good duo already.
Yeah, I mean they're definitely pushing him, especially in the marketing. This is a poster, so yeah. I'm assuming he's gonna get fixed.
I'm guessing he just shot him like in the vortex cortex or something, and he's still alive. Because
he got shot earlier on in the fight, and he's like, "Is anything major damage?" And he's like, "Nope." They're like, "Okay, cool." But I was so confused. I'm like, "Okay, what's this guy that they're looking for?" They literally killed everyone in there, and then there's just like this orb,
this floating carriage,
this game sphere. It's spherical. But I was like, okay, what's in this? I'm like, is it like I guess it looks like a baby, but like, why would they kill a baby? And then it's like, it's baby Yoda, or as I think it's someone else, because continuity wise, it literally makes no sense for that to be Yoda. But maybe Yoda has a baby, so.
Either way, it's a perfect cliffhanger.
Yeah, it really is. It definitely leaves more mystery. I think episode 2 comes out Friday.
Thank God we only have to wait a couple days.
Yeah, instead of waiting a full 7 days. But after episode 2 comes out, that's when they will be 7 days apart.
Except for the week of the movie coming out, they're releasing it a couple of days early.
Oh yeah,
Rise don't want to interfere with the big time movie.
Oh, no, not at all. But you know what is trying to interfere with the big time movie? The Witcher series on Netflix. And you bet your sweet ass I'm going to be watching that too. Wait, what'd you say? I'm sorry.
Yeah, Netflix just didn't care. They're like, Star Wars coming out? We'll just push it out anyways.
Yeah, well, because, I mean, it was rumored that Witcher was supposed to be coming out in December anyways, but we didn't even know the date for either, and I think it just so happened to be on the same weekend. So that'd be a really good weekend as well. But yeah, man, this episode was perfect introduction to this world. It showed the culture of the Mandalorians, and what they fight for, and I mean, hopefully we're gonna definitely see a little bit more. So we got a little bit of a glimpse here from the first episode, and I would say it's more like a tribe in a way, because he kind of like kneels down, and once he gets his credits from bringing in that one blue guy,
he had to upgrade that armor, boy.
Yeah, I was like, oh my god, we gonna get like a full out, like every episode he earns like a little piece of armor or something, kind of learn along the way, become more of a human. I really do want to see his face, so
we'll see. We already know what it looks like in real life, but not in the movie.
What if he just like takes off his helmet and it's Taika Waititi?
Oh my god. It's JoJo.
It's JoJo. No, It's well, not Yorkie. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, isn't it Yorkie?
It might be Yorkie. I'm drawing a blank on his best friend's name. That would be so funny. We're like, what are you doing here? And he's like,
What did you think of the score throughout the episode?
I thought the score was fantastic. It really was.
I've been hearing mixed reviews, but I really liked it. It was like
it was
futuristic
odd.
and different. It wasn't like a typical Star Wars score.
Right. It was.
But that's good because this is not a typical Star Wars media. This is
not a typical Star Wars show. You know, it's not. They don't just go to the default. Oh, play the theme song. But I thought it was eerie. I thought it was. Yeah, I thought it had a new spin and a new take on it.
And the composer, pretty well known Oscar winner from Black Panther and the 2 Creed movies, Ludwig Göransson.
Hey, there we go. I've only seen Creed 1.
He's the best we've got out there.
Yeah, he is. I remember when Let Me Explain was talking about Creed 2, and he said there was a little kid next to him right before he went into the movie. He was like, Creed 11? I haven't seen the first 10.
Oh, no.
He's like, I haven't seen the first 10. I was like, oh my gosh. That was hilarious. But anything else you wanted to touch base on before we wrap up here? Or, you know, any other gripes that you have with it? I know we've been, you know, I've said before, you know, we're talking about this, you know, praising it like it's, you know, the best show ever, which, I mean, it's a pretty great show, obviously, but we've only seen 1 episode, so I think there's 10 or 12 episodes total. So
I'd say most of the effects were really good, but some of them weren't quite movie quality, but overall it was still really good.
Okay, I got you there. I didn't really notice anything out of place myself. I'll definitely have to rewatch it just to see if there's anything that I might have missed. Definitely just figure out who those other cryo freeze people are that he had in his ship. I mean, it might just be nobody, but I feel like there's, you know, they didn't just.
I think people would have figured out by now.
Yeah, there's probably some kind of deep dive YouTube dissect video about, you know, every single shot and every single frame of this of episode 1, or I should say chapter 1. But you ready to give your review?
Yeah.
Not review, score. Wow.
Yeah.
So
first time we're ever doing a 1 episode score before.
Yeah, 1 episode score. This is technically our, well, I wouldn't say our technical first TV review, because we did review Stranger Things
and The Boys.
Oh yeah, and The Boys. Wow, we did.
Did we ever do Umbrella Academy?
No, we did not. We definitely needed to do that because I still think it's relevant, and you know, for people who haven't watched it, maybe they want like a quick little recap or just like a non-spoiler section. Or no, this definitely gonna be a spoiler section.
And the creator of or the lead guy for the Umbrella Academy show is working on Moon Knight, I believe.
Oh, is he really? Oh, that's right. That'd be amazing.
And the writer of Pickle Rick is doing She-Hulk.
Pickle Rick.
So it's gonna be lit.
Man, oh man, that episode is Rick and Morty.
It won an Emmy.
What, Rick and Morty?
Yeah, that episode.
Oh, did it really? Already?
Yeah.
Season 1?
Oh.
I mean, episode 1, season 4, Rick and Morty?
No, the Pickle Rick episode.
Oh, I was like, wow, dude, that was fast. I'm like, what kind of award show is going on? Yeah, Pickle Rick was fantastic. And I think we have that season on digital.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah. That would be really interesting to rewatch again. But yeah, if you haven't seen a newest episode of Rick and Morty, season 4, definitely check it out.
We won't be doing like episode reviews of that, but if there's interest, we could do a season review at the end.
Yeah. There's only supposed to be what, like 6, 7 episodes or something of that nature. I can't really remember. But you know, if all goes well, as you know, if we want to keep doing these Mandalorian reviews, I definitely think we can squeeze those in. Maybe it be its own separate review. But anyway, let's get back to our scores really quick. So out of 100, what would you give episode 1 of The Mandalorian?
I'm gonna go with 91.
Woo, that's a hot score. I like it. I'm going to go. Man, that's I'm just gonna one up you and go in 92.
Hey.
Just because, just shake it up a little bit. I can't really find anything wrong with this. Of course, no TV show or film are perfect, but this just comes pretty close, especially for a great pilot episode. Because a lot of pilot episodes flop, and they flop hard. But and normally with pilot episodes, even with season 1 of a lot of shows, they're still trying to find their footing of what they want the show to be. If you go back and watch like the season 1 of How I Met Your Mother, it is nothing. The theme and like the atmosphere.
The Office is like the definition of that. The beginning of The Office was not good at all.
Yeah, especially the UK version as well. But yeah, especially with the American version, like it is so different from all the other seasons. It's crazy. But yeah. We did it, Devin, our first episodic review. Wait, what'd you say, Disney Plus Day?
Yeah.
Disney Plus Day, everybody. Check it out. Seriously, it is worth every single penny that you're throwing towards it. I
can't wait to get called Disney Shills.
Disney Shills. That's crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. But man, I'm trying to think. All right, I guess that wraps up this podcast of the Film Optics podcast. Thank you, Devin, always for coming on so we can gush out about this stuff. And happy Disney Plus Day, everyone. I hope you are enjoying your day of binging, and hopefully you'll be binging some shows throughout the weekend if you have the time. I probably will, depending on what I have going on during the weekend. But for our next review, we should be maybe doing what comes out this week? Ford versus Ferrari.
Charlie's Angels and Ford versus Ferrari.
And The Good Liar.
No thanks.
Oh, come on, man. It's The Good Liar. We can't leave him out. We cannot leave him out.
That's for the boomers.
That is for the boomers. Yeah, you're right there. But yeah, so between Ford v Ferrari and Charlie's Angels, we'll decide which one to do. But I guess let's just go really quick into another movie quiz thing from Film Fanatic. I'll just choose a few here. I know it's been only a week since we've done this, but I'll just ask you a few questions.
We don't really get to take quizzes anymore in life. We're adults. Good to throw back to the school days.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Man,
not really.
Man, yeah, that's true. So let's see. Oh my gosh, I'm just trying to. Okay, so first question I have for you is: who directed the film Braveheart? Was it Oliver Stone, Kevin Costner, Ron Howard, or Mel Gibson?
I actually don't know.
I'll give you like 3 chances, and I'll just tell you the answer.
Did Mel Gibson direct it himself?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. There we go.
Right.
There we go, man. Okay. Ooh, oh, this one's super easy. Who played Superman, Man of Steel? Obviously, it's fucking Henry Cavill. Yeah, I'll just edit that part out. Ooh. Who played Andy? Andy Dufresne? Dufresne? Cannot pronounce that at all. Dufresne? No, I'll do the next one. Which film earned Tom Hanks an Oscar in 1994? Was it Captain Phillips, Forrest Gump,
Philadelphia,
or Castaway?
I don't know if it's Philadelphia or Forrest Gump. I think he won for both, but it might be different years. I'll go Philadelphia.
It is Forrest Gump, boy. Oh. Get out of here. Boom. All right, one more. All right, this is a Star Wars one. Since, episode
topical.
Topical, very topical. Actor Anthony Daniels is best known for playing what Star Wars character? Mace Windu?
Wrong.
Obi-Wan Kenobi?
Nope.
R2-D2 or C-3PO? So you're
I'm just gonna go with C3PO.
C3PO is correct. So I was gonna say you got two choices: R2D2, C3PO. I don't know why they made it like that. It's like, I mean, okay, whatever. I guess to the average person, they probably wouldn't know. But yeah, I'll start picking a few of these out. I know I kind of just randomly went on a spurt there, but if you have any movie questions, ask me on the next podcast. Feel free, stump me hard, because we'll see. But everyone, that it concludes our Film Optics podcast. Again, you can listen to this on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play, Stitcher. Wow, I almost said Twitcher. You can follow us on Twitcher at Film Optics. Optics is spelled OPTIX. And don't forget to leave a review on Apple Podcasts if you're listening to this on iTunes. And write us a review. Let us know how we're doing. We really want to try to appease to everyone and, do the best that we can and give you guys the best content that we can deliver. And I think that wraps it up. Anything else you wanted to say, Evan?
I don't think so.
All right.
I've spoken.
I have spoken. All right, everybody. Thank you all for tuning in, and we will see you guys in the next one.
Peace.